Hi everyone, welcome back to another Mega Construx video review here on Podcast Evolved. Today, as you can see in front of us, we are taking a look at Warthog Rally. So this is around a $30 set, £30 set, comes with 4 figures, 1 vehicle which is of course the iconic Warthog. I imported this from America. I was lucky enough to get it off of Colin early to do a review on. So here is the hog. You can see the box looks really great. We've obviously got the artwork of the chief shooting at the Jackal while the Marine takes out the other one. Build of this hog looks particularly nice. Lots of nice curvature and great details. You can see the nameplate at the bottom just there. Halo Infinite, that gorgeous new chief render. On the side of the packaging, we've got advertising for the 2-in-1 builds in this set, which look fun. Also, a nice kind of almost reddish Mega Construx logo up here. On the back, we get a better look at everything included. The new suspension system, the Recon Getaway set, the figures included, the weapons, and a way to open it up from the top as well. And then on the other side, some nice artwork of the figures. You can see the Chief, the Marine, and the Jackals, and some other languages for the set name. So, all in all, really fantastic looking box. I like the kind of muted green colour tones that we've got going with this one. They look really good. And I am excited to open this one up and build it. So do join me as we take a look at this set. Okay, so here we have got the Warthog Rally set out of the packaging, and you can see it, this is a fantastic play set. We get a really gorgeous new rendition of the iconic Warthog, Master Chief, a Marine, and 2 Jackal Freebooters. So we're going to take a look at the figures first, then we're going to move into the build of the Warthog, compare it to some of the other vehicles that have come beforehand in the line, and then we'll do a conclusion at the very end. So, without any further ado, let's start off by breaking down the figures. Okay, so here we have got 3 out of the 4 figures included in the set. Obviously, we do get a second Jackal, but we're just going to look at 1 in this portion. And we're going to go from left to right, so we're going to start with the Chief, move to the Marine, and then take a look at the Jackal Freebooter at the very end. And right off the bat, this is a really nice selection of figures. So, if we bring the Chief in, just going to adjust our focus a little bit. It helps if I turn autofocus on. That would be very useful. There we go. Okay, so we just let this dude focus. You can see the Chief looks incredible. Really nice attention to detail on this figure. I'm going to move the others out of the way just because I'll knock them over otherwise. You can see he's got the 117 on the chest. He has got really nice detail on the helmet, kind of a black outline around it, paintwork for the vents and the lights. Looks really good. All of the kind of green detailing you'd expect, really nice sculpt work. And one thing that's cool is the vents up here are painted, as are the kind of armour clasps. Now I didn't expect that, but it looks really good. And you can see, if I just bring Chief kind of centre, he looks really great. Good range of motion with this figure. He has got a lot of articulation to easily shoulder his weapon, as all of them do. And the weapon with this particular Chief is the new MA40. So you can see here, if I kind of lay it down, you can see great looking weapon, really nice detail, kind of simplified, but I like it. I think it looks good. We do have the removable rail cover, and the rail can be used to put a scope on there. So if I just reach off screen and grab this, so this comes from a different set, it's not included in this set, but we can put a scope on the MA40, as you can see there. So the MA40, obviously a cool weapon. This could equally stand in as an MA37. If I just get the little scope back on top, or the ammo counter even, could quite happily stand in as an MA37, but overall really nice looking weapon, really kind of well sculpted. And just to kind of give you a look, Chief holds it incredibly well. You can see there That looks really, really good, really spot on. I did just want to give you a quick comparison to probably the closest appearance of Chief. So I don't have the package figure, which is where a lot of this armour is repurposed from, but I do have the Halo 3 Chief, as you can see there. And you can see quite a few similarities. A different colour green for the Chief, not using the metallic green, but using the olive, and it does look really good. So that is the Chief. If we move him to one side, we have then got the Marine. Now the Marines have been quite topical. They do use the Call of Duty upper legs, and that means that they are unfortunately taller than a Spartan. So if I bring that Halo 3 Chief back in, you can see the height difference is quite obvious. But once you get past that, it's not major, it's not a massive height gap. You can see that this is a really great figure. Lots of nice sculpting detail. You can see the knee pads there. Look fantastic. The boots can swivel. Nice kind of interesting sort of waist piece. Little armour cover on the back. I think I've got that on the right way. Kind of nice armour sculpting on the back as well, over the shoulder blades. He has got the air assault shoulders, which are the same shoulders that come on the new version of Chief. They look good here. And one thing I really like that they've done with the Marines this time around is the exposed flesh here. So some of them have got short sleeve BDUs, some of them have got facial hair going on. This guy has just got a normal face though, you can see. If we get it to focus there, he's just got a normal face going, but he does still look pretty good. But the Marine design is really cool. Really, it feels utilitarian, it feels practical, and I do have to say I love this trooper style helmet. You can see that just looks so spot on to what we want. So very good. Does use the peg system, so the same system as the Combat Evolved Marines, and I thought it would be nice to do a comparison between those two Marines since they are the most recent ones. So you can see there, kind of very new versus very old. Pretty cool comparison, right? So that is the Marine, and then last but certainly not least, we have got the Jackal Freebooter. And the Jackal uses a new head sculpt, a new body sculpt, and the rest is kind of repurposed. So looking at that head sculpt, you can see nice paintwork for the eyes and the teeth. Really nice kind of mohawk detail as well. It is a little bit long, but it looks good. And you can see we do have a little square in the head. So could we be seeing a sniper jackal in the future? I think it's pretty likely. Now, you will notice the body is quite thin and agile. If we take the head off, take this armour piece off, which is brand new by the way, you can see a new style of under torso for the Jackal, which allows him to look a lot more slim and slender. So really nice figure overall. I know a few people aren't fans of how elongated the neck is, but I think that in the end it works pretty well. And a fun detail to note, the shields they come with have got some warp in them. They're kind of, when I say warp, I mean they've got paint mixed in. So they're a bit like the ice pieces that Mega have started to produce. So they look really good. And you can see when we compare it to one of the Storm Jackals, the proportions are a lot more accurate here. It's a lot taller, a lot skinnier, a lot more slender, and so it looks spot on even though it reuses some pieces. So I do really like the Jackal Freebooter here. So if I bring the other two back in, obviously we do get two of the Jackal, but you can see that overall it's a really solid lineup of characters for this set, and I feel like this set is kind of that mid-range price point set that you really want to get your hands on. It's got some great figures in it, which is a great sales package. And obviously you get some hostiles and some friendlies, so really cool stuff here. So that's enough about the figures, let's move on to the build. Moving on to the build portion of the set, you can see we have got this beautifully rugged rendition of the Warthog, and this is arguably my favourite version of the LRV that we have seen to date. Obviously it comes in that new kind of metallic green colour scheme, But it looks so rugged, so detailed, so spot on to what we really see in the games. Now obviously right off the bat this is the old style shield guard up here, and in the recent gameplay demo we have seen the new style, but beyond that I really think you can't complain about this thing. You can see, looking at it from front on, we have got a really nice profile here, bricks used to simulate headlights, the roll cage which looks fantastic, and what you're probably all looking for, the new kind of shocks mechanism. So it's quite hard to look at it on the vehicle, so what we're going to do, I was so confident I'd pull it off in one there, but it didn't quite happen. If we can, it looks like it's going to be a bit fiddly, so maybe we won't take it off on camera. I was going to try and take that off for you guys to take a look at, but it doesn't quite look like it's going to want to. So we'll leave it in place, but you can kind of see from there you've got this new shock system in place, which is part rubber banded, part kind of connectors that really help it to get this really good suspension. So you can see mine does disconnect a little bit because I think I've got something slightly misaligned. But if I try and fix it up a bit, there we go, then you can see what that new suspension system means is that is spot on to the Warthog. It makes me think of when you place one of these in Forge World, and the vehicle just kind of drops down, locks into place, like so. So really nice job by Mega on the suspension. Now obviously I said that the Warthog is a light reconnaissance vehicle, and here it feels a lot like that. It feels a lot like something fast and agile, but it feels militaristic in terms of the kind of colours and angles it has on it. So really cool detail to note. Obviously we all noticed this satellite piece on the preview pictures, but we also have engine detailing down inside, which looks fantastic. And the detail doesn't stop there. So you can see we've got the great hood, which is nice and curved. And then we have got the inside of the hog, which has got a control panel. And that is a printed control panel. Obviously Mega have started doing that more recently, and it looks great. We've then got the iconic Warthog handbrake in there. And you can see these dark brown chairs, which are actually pieces that we build up, which is really cool. So you can see there one of the chairs pulled out, looks fantastic, slots onto the wall in the kind of seating area of the hog nice and easily, he says, breaking apart the back end, and it looks really good. Then coming towards the end we have got these kind of more skeletal roll bar pieces than we've seen on previous designs. And we have then got the turret. Now mine kind of clicks in place a little bit. I think maybe I've put something together a little bit too tightly. You can kind of see here where these parts aren't all together. So I think I need to adjust some of the spacing slightly. But most of the time this will rotate a full 360. I imagine I've just got a bit unlucky here with the way I've spaced mine together. But all in all, that's fantastic. And you could easily remove this to make it a flatbed version like we've seen in some of the promo photos as well. Now the roll cage continues towards the back. You can see additional details here. We have got the iconic canisters towards the end just here of petrol. And also the antenna. Now the tail bar doesn't open like on the Warthog resistance version, but I don't really think it needs to. I think that this is kind of quite rugged, quite sort of utilitarian, and it doesn't really need to do that. Now we do have a really nice detail just up at the top here, if I can get it to focus. There we go. You can see that light there is printed. So this is a printed piece, and as well they've actually used the weapon sling piece from the Call of Duty line to do the cabling. So with the last version of this 343 era Warthog that we saw, the Warthog Resistance one I mentioned previously, this was a thick pipe piece, which meant that it was hard to put a figure in. So here they have innovated, they've looked back at their part inventory, and the way that works is really good. I like that. Now we also build up a lot more texture on the backside, or on the sides even, of this Warthog this time around. You can see nice kind of steps hanging out like you see on the actual vehicle. Kind of nice, these are usually like thruster pieces with some little texturing that look really good. And all in all, it just looks like a fantastic, really rugged vehicle. I know I keep saying that, but it looks good. And for comparison, his Chief, you can see that this is a bit of a taller version of the vehicle than we're used to seeing. So what we're going to do, we're going to put Chief in the driver's side, just here. As you can see there, he's kind of not in quite all the way. But there you go. You can see Chief fits in nicely. We can take the Marine, position him on the turret. Doing this around the camera is a little bit difficult, but there we go. And you can see it looks great with figures on it. It's a bit larger than we've seen in the past, but I think that works really well. So just to echo that comparison a little bit further, if we bring that back out there, I have got the Warthog Resistance version here, and the Halo 3 more recent version here. And you can see this really is an innovative lineup. This Warthog here has taken a lot of the design cues from the one on my right. It has really built upon them, developed them, added more detail, and just overall makes it look a lot more rugged. I think the side builds here are a lot better, and it just helps it to pop a lot more. So this did used to be my favourite hog, as you can see, quite worn, had it for a while, but that title now goes to this new one. And just to compare it there as well, you can see very different, same colour scheme, same colour green, or if not same, very similar, but obviously this new one is a lot more rugged, a lot bigger, a lot heavier, a lot bulkier, kind of looks like it would smash through this one. Interesting thing to note, this design does quite closely mimic the headlights here on this one, which is quite cool. It's a similar kind of light design. So I think that's been quite a comprehensive look at the Warthog itself and at the build. Really, really nice build. Again, that suspension is absolutely fantastic. It's really innovative, and I feel like this is the perfect example of Mega going back to the drawing board, looking at what they've done well, what could perhaps be improved, and really building from the ground up. So very, very happy with this Warthog. And with that said, let's bring the Jackals back in and I'll give you my final verdict. So that has been your look at Mega Construx Halo Infinite Warthog Rally. This is a fantastic set, a really, really innovative Warthog build, and a set which looks fantastic. The figure variety here is spot on. The accessories are great, the new MA40 looks fantastic, and the build is one to really write home about. I'm really impressed with how far Mega have come in terms of quality. I really thought that the Warthog Resistance Warthog would be the penultimate Warthog, but Mega have done it again. They've made it even better. If you're on the fence about buying this one for any reason at all, absolutely go out and get it. It is a fantastic set. Really, really good value for money, with some great new figures and a fantastic vehicle. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this look at the Halo Infinite Warthog. We're going to be doing loads more Mega Construx reviews here on Podcast Evolved, so make sure to subscribe, like this video, and do all of that good stuff. And I do want to end with a very special shout out to our friend Brickman117. He has been doing a fantastic job with his own Halo Infinite reviews, so do go and check them out and show him some love too. Thanks so much as always for the support, guys. Take care and have a great week.